What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Casual Experts Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Theory. We got Power Slam champion in the building, Puerto Rican pretty boy, Isiah Quinones. What's up, man? So
How you doing?
how, all right, man. How's life treating you?
Good. Fantastic. I mean, couldn't be happier. I called this a long time ago. I told him it was a fluke whenever he won the first one, and I proved my point.
And do you think it's destiny? You won the first time you beat him, round two. Second time you beat him, round two. Is that like poetic justice or something like that?
I think it is. I mean, my biggest thing is like the one that I lost. The dude, I'll tell you this. Like I did this. I've done, power slap since before power slap was even a thing. I've been doing this and I have the technique where I know how to slap people and I can knock them out. I don't need to lead with my palm. I don't need to club people. I don't need to do any of that. And that dude, he knew he had to do something to try to get me, which he got away with on the last one that he won. And he led with his palm and he, hit me with pretty much a punch on the bottom of my jaw. And he even went through teaching new people coming in like, hey, aim for the bottom of the jaw. If you get away with it, you get away with it. And I had people calling me, telling me, bro, like
That's
this
crazy.
dude's telling me to aim and hit you like this and hit people like this. And if they call it, they call it. If they don't, they don't. And I'm like, yeah, that's not the way I want to be, and that's not the way I want this sport to be. And I'm like, I had this fool crying even afterwards. I'm like, bro, just
Yeah.
take your L and just fucking be done, dude. And that's my biggest thing is like when I got my L, I didn't cry about him clubbing. I didn't cry about him hitting me illegally. I didn't cry about shit. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass. I
Yeah.
didn't fucking cry about it. I didn't bitch. I didn't say, oh hey, you should have called this. Hey, they should have called that. Like, nah, bro. But I have other people coming up to me telling me like, hey, bro, he punched you. He led with his palm. He led with his heel of his palm. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. They didn't call it. He got away with it. Whatever. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna whoop his ass. So
And
that's
do
what I
you
did.
and do you think because of sport? Well, the sport is in where it's at right now. It's fairly new, like to the public, right? It's like so. Do you think because of that, like the judges or the referees are still learning the rules, or some of them is that why they're able to get away with certain things?
It's not that they're learning the rules. It's that it really is so hard to catch that shit real time, like
Yeah,
right then and there, And you got a ref that's looking at three different things at once. Looking
that's
at the
true.
feet, making sure feet or flinch. Make sure people don't flinch. They're also having to make sure the person hits right. So I mean, I don't blame them for anything, but it's like at the end of the day, what we do is up to the ref's discretion. Even
Yeah,
after, I mean, these last two power slaps you could see they were started like reviewing stuff a lot, and you could see they started, oh hey, that was a flinch. Oh hey, that wasn't a flinch.
yeah.
But you're close. Like they started reviewing a lot of stuff, and they started using that slow mo camera a lot more. But it's to me is like I'm like it all depends on what people see. And I had people after the win. Obviously, it's all the people from his little hometown, all the people that were in my DMs before the match saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna knock you out. He's gonna knock you out." I was like, "Okay, we'll see." I was like, "Watch when I put him to sleep. You guys are gonna cry." And then I put him to sleep, and you got everybody over there like, "Oh, hey, you hit him like this. Hey, you hit him like that. Hey, you
Yeah.
flinched. Hey, you did this. Hey, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're mad because I knocked your boy out.
Yeah. Man, but how don't you flinch? Like that's like you're just like how? Like
That's
that's
the biggest thing to me. It's like I fucking eat it. Like
yeah.
it's funny because everybody. So the reason why they changed the rules to clenching is
Yeah.
because of me. Because I got called on 3 out of 4 of my fights last year. I got called for flinching. I on
Dang.
3 out of 4 of my fights last year. I got called for
Yeah.
flinching, and literally right after I won the championship against John Davis, where they called me for flinching twice. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I don't flinch. Like, I bite down. I bite
Yeah.
down, and that's it. My head doesn't move away from it. My head doesn't, lean into it. I was like, I just bite down and clench, and I wait for the hit.
Yeah.
I was like, my face doesn't fucking move. You could even see when they hit me, my face doesn't fucking move. And that's when Mark Smith came up to me. He's like, hey, Isaiah, I'm sorry. Keep doing what you're doing. What you're doing is not wrong. We're actually going over this in the rules meeting. You guys are allowed to clench. You're allowed to clench. And as long as you're not moving your head away from the slap
Yeah.
or into the slap, that's not a flinch. And so that's why this last match, when people were crying about a flinch, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like I know Slap City did a breakdown and stuff, but I'm like, he also didn't get a good angle. But if you actually look at dead on, what I did is I just bit down. I
Yeah.
bit down and I don't move my head away or into it. And even with me biting down, this fool still hit me in the fucking back of the neck and with a club. I'm like, bro, if I'd even do that, you would have hit me fucking way under the neck.
Yeah.
I was
For
like,
sure.
what the fuck? Like, so,
It's just
and I'm
crazy.
like, yeah, I was like, don't fucking sit there and say like I flinched when I bit down. I was like, and then for him to be bitching and crying about me flinching, and then for other people to be bitching and crying and riding his dick about it, is I'm like, you guys got to understand and know the rules, because if you want to call mine a flinch, look at his his movement of his head on the
Yeah.
first slap. He said I broke his orbital, and that's the one where he was saying I clubbed him, which I didn't.
Yeah.
You see him move his head down and turn away. So when he did that, I still hit him on the cheek, but it was a little higher than what it should have been because he moved.
Yeah.
And that's when I supposedly broke his orbital. But then he's over there talking shit, saying, "Oh, you won because you cheated." I'm like, that's crazy. But then the second text after, the second text after that from him is like, "Your second slap was so clean. That was the cleanest slap I've ever seen." I was like, "Well, that's the one I fucking knocked you out with and won."
Yeah.
Like, so how did I? I was like, "So how did I cheat,
Yeah.
bro?"
Man, it just, especially with this sport, is like, man, like you're gonna have losses. Like you're sitting there and you're taking a slap to the face. Like you're gonna have the losses. So this is not like UFC or boxing or anything like that. People are you're a champion. You have losses. You come back from that, and that's
Exactly.
what it is. You take that loss. You come back and you have the opportunity, which is the makes it equal is the coin flip stuff. Like so you don't know who's going for it. Even though if you're a champion, you don't still get that. You don't you get the coin flip, and if you go first, it's you have a
Well,
higher
you want to know
chance
what's
of winning.
crazy? Well, actually, no. So they actually
No,
did the odds. So they did the odds and they actually tested it.
yeah.
There's more wins people going second than there is going first. So
Why do you
yeah,
say that? Like, why do you think
to me, I think it might be an adrenaline thing. I'll tell you
mm,
what. When I went first the last time, I lost. When I went first the last time, before this last match, I was in my head. I never miss. I fucked up and I missed. And I think I was just in my head like, fuck, like what the fuck were you doing, Isaiah? Like why the fuck you miss? Like what the fuck? Like,
you know,
and I was just in my head. I wasn't thinking straight. So when he knocked me down, I got up
makes
too
sense.
fast. I was ready to just fucking go back at him, but I was
Yeah,
obviously out of it. I was like
that
a
makes
little
sense.
wobbly, you know.
No, that makes more sense of having that adrenaline because you're going first, that you want to get the perfect hit and you want to
Yeah,
put everything into it. So sometimes you're thinking trying to hit too hard, your aim's gonna be off if you're trying to swing too hard. So like it,
yeah, and I
so
and I just
yeah,
screwed up, you know. And that's the biggest thing is like, and yeah, so they did the odds. If you look at the statistics, I forget what the percentage is, but
that's crazy.
people who go second actually have been winning more.
That's
And
crazy.
then like the first match with me and him, I went second, I won. The second match, I went first, I lost. Then this third one, I went first, but I won this one. But it's like
Yeah,
it never, you never know, you know. And my biggest thing is, again, like just we got to sign up, and we know like you just got to go into power slap knowing you're just gonna get hit. And that's the
yeah,
biggest thing. That's why I'm the person I am, and I'm a fucking animal, and everybody wants to. They can talk all the shit they want, but nobody's gonna knock me out, especially in our division. I haven't been knocked out in light heavyweight division. I haven't been knocked out in middleweight division. Nobody's strong enough to knock me out. I have a strong ass chin, and that's one thing I'll be cocky about and confident about. Is I have a strong ass chin, and that's just part of genetics. I've grown up boxing, never been knocked out. Yeah, I've been rocked, been wobbled, but
yeah.
that's it's different. You're not
But
knocked out cold.
the recovery is crazy
Yeah, and that's
because
that's
he because even this last match, like he got you pretty clean in that first round, but when you came back to the podium, you can tell you already recovered from it. Like you're already
well, and
recovered.
that's the
You're already,
thing is like, so like you said, he didn't. I mean, you say he got me clean, but he didn't get me clean. If you watch the
well,
match,
I'm not
I
talking
know
about
what you
clean
mean. No,
hand.
no, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
what you mean. But
yeah,
he rocked me. He wobbled me a little. Like you could
yeah,
see, like, oh shit, like he got me. But yeah, I pretty much took a punch to the fucking jaw,
yeah.
and yeah, I was rocked a little, but I was like, oh yeah, you're done. And I fucking knew. I was like, all right, you're done.
And
That's
we're gonna get into some stuff like that, but let's rewind a little bit. Let's for our viewers and stuff. Let's we want to hear how like it all started. You know, like so growing up in Lancaster, like what was young Isaiah like? Like
Oh, Palmdale. So I grew up in
oh
Palmdale. So
Palmdale,
yeah, good old Palmdale from Afro Man, dog. Fucking
yeah,
growing up down the street from Afro Man. I grew up with a dad who's from New York, Puerto Rican dad from New York. I mean, the people I grew up with were, I mean, it was wild. My dad was young and dumb, obviously. They had me when I was 18. My dad grew up with, gang members. My mom grew up, we grew up in the hood.
yeah,
That's what I try to tell people. Like, everybody thought, Palmdale was like, oh, nice, just like Afro Man's home.
yeah, no.
You know, I grew up in a small white town called Eastside Palmdale, but no, it wasn't. It was like people started coming from the hood, from Compton, from all these places
yeah,
because they're like, damn, I can get a house for what I pay for rent in LA. Like, so
yep,
people started coming up here, started getting tough. And I mean, I remember growing up, and I'm in sixth grade. I didn't know what gang banging was or anything, right?
yep,
And I'm Puerto Rican. I mean, I get super tan during the summer. I get, of
yeah,
course, a
yeah.
lot lighter during the winter.
No, I feel
And
you.
so I have fools coming up to me. School starts in August out here, and it's hot as hell in the desert, and I'm tan as hell. And I have fools coming up to me like, "Hey, where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Palmdale. What do you mean?" And they're like,
Yeah,
"No, where you from?" And I'm like, "They're checking me, right?"
yeah,
That's when I was like, "All right, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck you mean." Like later, and then everybody would just want to fight. And I'm like, "Okay, let's fight."
yeah,
And my uncle, he was a professional boxer. My dad, we all grew up boxing, and I grew up, you know, in a gym where I get my ass whooped if I didn't, spar adults. I get my ass whooped if I'd let, kids just fight me and I didn't fight back. So you know, I grew up with a tough ass dad from
yeah,
Brooklyn, and I mean, I loved fighting. I was never a troublemaker kid, but I would always fight because if it got started, I would definitely make sure it got finished. Um, and I mean that's just how I grew up and with everybody I grew up with. I mean, my dad's best friend got shot and killed right in front of us. Like it's crazy.
yeah. I feel you. How was it? How was it being Puerto Rican in California? Because well, I'm half, right? So I'm half. My mom's from Brooklyn as well, but my dad's Mexican from East LA. So like
Yeah,
growing up in Puerto Rican, I mean growing up in like California. As for me, I've always tend towards the Puerto Rican side more, just because it's different. Especially growing up like in high school with the girls and stuff. Like no, I'm Puerto Rican. So like
yeah.
I always played that card growing up. Like how was it in Lancaster? Is a little bit different than
Same thing, same thing.
yeah,
Like all my friends, like I grew up. One of my good friends was Paul George. I grew up with fucking all these people out here. We all grew up where it's a mixture of everybody, right? It's just like LA.
yeah,
It's a mixture of everybody. We have homies who are Chinese. We have homies who are Mexican,
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that. I was, I mean, proud to be Puerto Rican, but it was funny because everybody always mess around like, bro,
yeah,
are you like obviously all my black friends they'd be like, hey, you're Mexican fool. I'm like, no, I'm
yeah,
not Mexican, dog. I'm Puerto
yeah,
Rican. And then all
yeah,
my Mexican friends would be like, hey, bro, your family's black, dog. I'm like,
yeah,
no, I'm Puerto Rican, dog. I'm like,
yeah,
I was like, it was all over the place. But nobody ever hated on the fact that I was Puerto Rican, but they all hated on
yeah.
the fact that I was a Yankees fan, though.
Oh, man,
That's what I was like. Everybody's always talking shit about my tattoos, and I'm like, listen, I got
yeah,
that from my dad. I got
yeah.
LA from my mom, New York from my dad, but I was like, I just grew up loving the Yankees.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my house is mixed as well because my mom on my mom's side all from New York, my dad's side from LA. So like I grew up a Dodger fan because my grandfather when he moved out here from Brooklyn, he worked at Dodger Stadium. So growing up, I
Yeah,
would go to
see?
games. So my grandfather was a Dodger. He was a both, but because he went to Ebbets Field back in the day and he
Yeah,
watched the Dodgers. But like my house is real split, like Yankees, Dodgers, and I grew up a Dodger fan because I used to go there. My grandpa used to take me all the time. So
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
and that's the thing is like, I'll go to Dodger games and stuff, but and then in the back of my head I'm wearing my Brooklyn Dodger stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day, all these people talking shit about Yankees, Dodgers. I'm like, bro, Dodgers are from Brooklyn, dog. Like,
yeah,
I was like, you never forget that. I was like, I don't care if they're from LA now, but just never forget.
yeah, and that's why I tell everybody. That's why I'm a Dodger fan. Because my story starts, in LA and in Brooklyn. If there
Yeah,
was no Brooklyn, there was no LA, it wouldn't be me. So I'm a Dodger fan because that's the Dodgers. They're LA, but they
that's
started in
cool.
Brooklyn. Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
it's that man. What's a childhood story that no one would believe?
Hmm, man, I have a few. I don't. I mean, what kind? Like,
Anything.
I mean, shit. I have so many, dude. It's like people like. It's funny because whenever I start a new job, people really don't believe me with half the shit I tell them. Like,
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, you know this person, you know that person." I'm like, "Yeah, I grew up with this person. I grew up with that person." You know, it's like, I mean, my cousin Austin McBroom. Austin McBroom's part of the Ace family, right? That's my
yeah,
cousin.
hundred
Him and
percent.
Landon. We grew up playing airsoft together. We fucking that's one big thing. I mean, shit. I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
It's hard. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of stuff happen in my life, but I'd say the craziest things is honestly growing up around my dad. He was never a gang member. He was never a gang banger or anything like that. But I grew up around a lot. My dad was a very personable person. He's like me. I mean, I'm
yeah,
like him. You know, I talk to everybody. I love everybody. I'm cool with everybody. Same with my dad. My dad was friends with Crips, Bloods. Whatever whoever you call it. And I grew up around
yeah,
all these gang members and stuff. And I remember it's like going to my uncle's house where my uncle's a barber, and we all go to the house, and that's when all these fools who are even beefing with each other are all hanging out.
yeah.
And I
The
remember me
barbershop.
running around. I remember me running around as a kid, and the barbershop was at my cousin's or at my uncle's garage. Like it was in his
Okay.
garage. So
Yeah,
everybody would come over. We play pool. Like well, they would play pool. I was a little kid. They would play pool. They would be doing all this stuff. And I remember just running around, and my dad thought it was the funniest thing. He was eight. He was what 20 at the time. And
okay.
I was probably like 3 years old, and he thought it
Yeah.
was the funniest thing for me to run around and punch everybody in the balls. He's like, "Hey, Isaiah, go punch him in the ball." And I'll be running around, all these people hanging out. I just
Yeah.
be running around, just punching everybody in the balls, and he thought it was the funniest thing ever. That I remember as a kid, and everybody to this day still, like my uncle, like all the other, dudes that are still alive, of course, they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, remember when you were a little fucker that would come around punch us in the balls?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
Man,
that's honestly
that's,
that's what I
and
can
then
remember."
when like when did you have your moment where you realized that hey I hit pretty hard or I hit harder than most people?
Growing up, man, growing up, I mean, I've never had a fight where it was like, back and forth. I've always finished a fight. I've never had a fight where it was like, oh, we're hitting each other, nothing happens. Like, nah. I usually, I can say confidently, I've knocked a person out completely, or I've hit them so hard I knocked them down, and they were just like, I'm fucking done. Like they're like, I don't want to fight you. Like that, and that's a genetic thing. I think it's like even my little brothers who were scrawny, little tiny fuckers growing up. They were just so stupid strong, and I'm like, what the hell? And that's when I realized it was just genes. And
Yeah.
that's when I tell people that people ask me like, oh, how do you take a hit? How can you take a hit? I'm like, you're either just born with it or you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you could train your neck, you could train your jaw a little bit, but you're either just born with a chin or you're not. And
I feel that.
I found out growing up, training and boxing and fighting and doing all that. Found out I could take a hit, but I found out I could give a hit too.
Now from Palmdale streets to the slap ring, like how did that happen?
No, I mean, I was like I said, I was a little troublemaker. Never got in like crazy trouble, but I mean, I got to a point where it was like I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life, so I joined the Navy. Went to the Navy, got out, was selling cars for a little bit. And then once I was done with that, I went back into aerospace, started working aerospace, and was working on jets and military jets. And I got back into the civilian military side, and I was working at Edwards Air Force Base. And then I was doing that for like 4 or 5 years. And then COVID happened, and then all of a sudden COVID happened. We were getting paid to sit at home, and I'm like, all right, like oh fuck, like I'm sitting at home getting paid, we're getting our leave, like we're chill. But I was
Yeah.
bored. Like me and my family were all walking, walking and hiking, going to the gym, working out, and I was just like, fuck, I want to do something. And I looked on Craigslist to find like back in the I live in, obviously, Palmdale. We film
Yeah.
a lot of movies out here. We film a lot of like music videos out here. Fast and Furious was filmed at a racetrack like 5-6 miles from my house, and they always put ads out for like background actor, like a TV show to be on or a game show to be
Okay.
on. I want to go apply for like Price is Right or something like that, and so I'm on the TV and film like tab on Craigslist, and I saw this slap fight competition, and I saw the link, and it was the link of Dumpling slapping the guy with the tattooed eyeballs and knocking him out.
Okay.
And I was like, oh fuck, I've seen this before. I could do that. And I was like, I could fucking take a hit from Dumpling. I could do this shit. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, come try out. So I went and tried out. They had me hit a watermelon. I broke the watermelon. And they're like, fuck, you're strong. I was like, yeah. They're like, all right, come back. And actually, like an hour later, that's when Crazy Hawaiian showed up. Crazy Hawaiian
Oh,
showed up,
yeah.
same thing. That's when me and him first met, was on
Oh
this
shoot.
show. And I was like, all right. And I was watching him. He's like, yeah. He's like, fuck it, let's do this shit. I was like, okay. So we ended up coming back like 2 weeks later to LA. And I went against this Russian dude, knocked him out. And then Hawaiian went against he went against Slap for Cash. It was either Slap for Cash. That's when I met Slap for Cash too, the big fat dude that got knocked out
Yeah.
by his brother. Um, all right, something happened where their video ended up not getting put on YouTube, but they went against each other, and that's when it all started. Then me and Crazy Hawaiian started flying to Miami with this Russian guy, and the guy that actually posted a couple days ago on the Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
He's the one who started it all, and Dana White actually offered him money to buy the slap from him. And
Okay.
back in the day, he's like, I don't want to sell it. He's like, I want to be part of it still. He's like, I'd love to be part of it still, but Dana was like, no, I want everything.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, I don't want to sell it. I was like, you should have sold it, bro. But
Yeah.
he's like, it happens. And that's when Dana White started his own. Well, actually, the Russian Ukrainian war happened, and that's when he had to go back to Russia. So we stopped flying all over the place to go do this stuff. And
Oh shoot.
Crazy Hawaiian was actually going to do one on Long Beach, and me and Russell Rivero were supposed to go against each other. This was before Power Slap,
Oh shoot.
and he ended up. I ended up being in Hawaii at the time they were going to do this, and so that one fell through. Then Crazy Hawaiian was like, "Hey, Dana White is working on something. I'll keep you in the loop. We'll let you know." And then about 6 months later, that's when he was like, "Hey, we're starting Power Slap, and you
Damn.
want to come professionally?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So that's when we did it then. And then I, of course, went to season one. Didn't go on the show because I ended up getting knocked down. And that was a whole nother story where I was just sick as hell. And it was right after COVID, right? And
Yeah.
I probably had COVID, but I told the producers, I was like, no, I'm not sick. I'm good. Like, but I
Yeah.
was pounding NyQuil the whole fucking week. And
Damn.
literally, the day of the fight, I could just feel the weakness. When you get
Yeah.
that cold, you get that sick,
Yeah. You feel it in
just
your
feel.
bones. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I just felt that, and I was like, I still was like, fuck this, I'm not missing this opportunity. And that's when, of course, he got me, knocked me down, and I was like, what the fuck? But and that's when he kind of clubbed me too, and that's the very beginning when nobody knew any of the rules.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've been doing it since then, man. I was undefeated in before Power Slap, and then I ended up getting into Power Slap and had my first loss.
Dang. That's crazy. How like it's crazy how it just go on Craigslist and it all started from there. Just being
And I'm the
bored
type
and
of
going on
person, I
Craigslist.
never say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Never say
crazy.
no to anything, dog. And I was like, I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, I got people at work, they're like, fuck, bro, like you're smart. You work on fucking Mars rovers, you work on airplanes, you
Yeah.
work on jets. Like how the fuck, like, why do you do this? I'm like, because I fucking love hitting people and I love violence.
Well, what was the decision for the Navy though? Because I was in the Marines, so what was the decision for the Navy, not the Marines?
They got me, dog. They
They
sold me,
got you.
bro. They sold me, dog. Like, I wanted to be a firefighter. So my uncle was a firefighter,
Okay.
passed away in '09 in that Big Mountain fire. That's the one I got tattooed on my back. Saved like 75 people. He had the Memorial Dodger Stadium. Los Angeles crest is named after my uncle. Like it's my uncle's crazy, man. I wanted to be a firefighter, and the Navy put out an ad in the newspaper. My aunt, who was my uncle's wife,
Yeah.
she was a widow, and she was like, "Hey, Isaiah, look, like they're looking for firefighters." I was like, "Oh," I went to the address. It was a fucking recruiter's office.
Oh shit.
Like, gosh, shit. I was like, I just was talking to him for a minute. My stepdad was in the Air Force. I was like, oh, like, and they were like, they sold me, bro. They were like, everybody's a firefighter in the Navy, everybody. And I was like, now I know fucking why, but
Yeah.
they sold me, bro. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's do it, fuck it. And
Yeah.
I was beefing with my dad at the time. We're both two hard headed fuckers, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck it. I was like, let me just leave.
Just get out of it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, all right, fuck it. So I joined and signed up. Was in the debt program for. So I wanted to do Coast Guard, but they were wait. It was a year and a half wait,
Oh
and I was
shoot.
like,
Damn.
fuck. And
Yeah.
Navy was like 3 months, and I was like, fuck it, let's go to the Navy.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's go. Everybody's a firefighter. I'm gonna go do it. And yeah, and that happened,
Uh,
bro. They sold me, dog.
yeah, they get you, man. They get you.
Hey,
I was
what is it? Never was it never again
volunteers.
volunteer yourself?
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yup.
yeah, nah, fuck, bro. I was like, yeah, they got me, dog.
They do, man. Like I had joined up for the Marines like out of high school, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. Like I'm gonna join my summer, and then I'm gonna go. I get a call like 2 weeks after graduation, and they're like, hey, man, we have a spot open up because they knew like I was wanting to go, but I was gonna go communications, and they're like, yeah, we have a spot open up, leaves in a month. You want to take it? Like it's only one spot available. Like and I'm like, yeah, like I wanted to go soon. So they're like, yeah, but the only thing is, it's infantry. It's not communications.
Oh shit.
You switch your MOS. I was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Like it was like the recruiter talking to me. He's hyping me up. Like, yeah, man, it's a perfect opportunity to go right now. You get out and you'll still have a little bit of summer to enjoy. I'm like, no, I have boot camp's 3 months. So I missed my whole summer. I ended up going infantry instead of communications. But it was like, he got me like.
They
Now I
get
look
you,
back
dog.
on, yeah. Now I look back on it. I'm like, man, like I don't know. Maybe I should have waited, but it's all the same to me. I guess I made it out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got out. I got my military disability. I got, my
Yeah, same.
VA, all that stuff. So it's like, fuck it. So I'm using my VA loan to buy another house right now. That's why I'm doing
That's
Power Slap. My goals with Power Slap is, I told this to Frank and Dana and Hunter. I was like, listen, I want to do Power Slap as long as I can. I want to buy my houses. I want to pay off my houses, and I want to be part of Power Slap after this shit. Whether it's commentating, whether it's just training new people coming in, finding talent, whatever it is, I still want to be part of it. They're like, fuck yeah. They were like, all
That's
right,
why you do the coaching a lot. Like I see you, like when you're not fighting, you're on still
yeah,
you're coaching, right? That's what it is, a coach?
yeah.
Or
I mean, I would do that. I would do like actual. It would be that type of coaching, but it would also be like, you know, doing camps and stuff like that, doing like the contender series type thing, like
okay.
doing stuff like that. So, and I told them that's they offered me a job to actually do it. They were like, hey, would you move to Vegas to come do it? I was like, yeah. I was like, I would if you guys, paid me a right amount. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But they all
That's
know
what's
I'm
up.
gonna do this as long as I can. I'm gonna make it fun and exciting. I'm not gonna be a boring champ like everybody else was. I
Yeah.
told them, "Bro, I'll fucking fight tomorrow. Let's go. Like I don't give a fuck if it's somebody number 8, number 7, number 6. I don't give a shit. Just give me somebody, bro. So they know how I am. I even told Hunter right after winning. I was down there in the high limit room with Hunter, and I was like, hey, I was like, Hunter, let's do it. I was like, I want to do another. He's like, all right. He's like, I'll tell Frank to text you. I was like, all right, let's do it. So,
That's
and
great.
I even have ideas where it's like I even told Wolverine. I was like, bro, I was like, everybody's boring in their division now. Like, it's like I don't know. I mean, obviously Terp's not boring. I love Terp, but he's got to get a hold of that fucking weight shit. And I mean, he's an exciting cat, bro.
Yeah.
And I told Wolverine, I was like, bro, I'll defend this one more time, and I was like, I'll come fight you. I'll come fight you at light heavyweight. I was like, let's fucking make it fun, dude. Make it exciting. People would love to see that shit.
Yeah, but that hasn't been done yet, has it? Like a double champ
Two
status
champs?
or anything? Yeah.
Nope. So that and then two champs fighting against each other, that would be fucking crazy. Like I would love
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, and then that's kind of the era we're in right now with the UFC, and even well, boxing's always been like that. undisputed champion, and then now we have this weekend Makachev fighting Magdalena.
Yep.
He's going up. So like that's kind of the era we're in right now, right? Champions fighting champions, the best fighting the best,
Yeah.
double champ status and all that.
That's
Make
my thing.
what?
So I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Why not bring power slap into that world too, right? Like that.
Exactly.
Keep it current, keep it modern, right?
Especially because like we don't have a big roster just yet. I mean, we do. We're getting a bigger roster, but just nobody's shown anything really yet. They're getting up there. They're showing like little by little.
Yeah.
People are moving along, but it hasn't done it that fast yet. So it's like that. I think that would be something cool and exciting to do.
No, for sure. Now let's let's like talk about like the art of slapping them, get into like the mindset. What's like the secret skills that no one talks about?
Hmm. I'm not gonna let all the secrets out, but I mean, uh, again, it goes back to just being born with it or not. There's people that are just too stiff. There's people that are just I don't, they just don't have it. They don't have the technique. They're stuck in their either bad habits or like I'll tell you what that the I forget his name, but the kid from China that just came on, the one that could bend metal right with his hand,
Yeah.
slap whatever, right? His technique, man, his technique was just not there. Like he just slapped him with his arm, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, there's a bigger technique than that. Like I get it. Like I get what you grew up with. I get what like you feel like you have power, but this is not just slapping a wrench or it's like you have the power, but you're not
Using it.
using it exactly. It's
Yeah.
like and you have to learn how your body works. I try to that's the other thing with coaching, and that's the other thing I try to tell people. Like you could coach all day. You could try to say, "Oh, I taught this person how to do this, that." It's like, no, you got to tell the person, like, "Hey, get comfortable with your body." I could
Hmm.
tell you how I do it. I could tell you how I take a hit. I could tell you how I do everything, but you got to get comfortable with your own body. You got to get comfortable with how your body moves. Like the way I move might not work for you. You might be, have to, squat down a certain way, or you have to twist a certain way. Like you won't be able
Yeah.
to twist like I twist, or you won't be able to relax your arm like I relax my arm, something like that. So that's the biggest thing is you got to get comfortable with your own body to learn how to do this. Like I grew up, like I said, I grew up boxing and stuff. So it's like I had to get away from certain habits with boxing, but at the same time, you still keep some habits from boxing. It's
Yeah.
like throwing that hook and just bah, putting your
Yeah.
body into it. But now you got to learn how to put your body into it without pivoting your foot. So you got to learn little things here and there.
You have the force numbers. So is it like the signs versus gut instinct? Like what do you think is, or do they go together, or like one's more than the other?
As for sorry,
Like
I
this,
didn't get
like
it.
the science behind it, or like just having gut instinct. Like, well, what do you think is better, or do you use both? Like a little bit of everything
Both.
to
To me, I
both.
mean, if you ask me, I use both. I just it's a mental thing, and it's just a little bit of science too. It's just knowing what your body. I mean, and like I said, mental and knowing what your body can do. And I'm just confident when I go up there. I know this person's not going to knock me out. So that's why I start getting into the mental part of it. Now I just look at them. I'm like, all right, bro, like you're not going to do shit to me. So I think it gets my body, into a different state of mind, and then it's the science behind taking the hit, how you take the hit. Like,
Yeah.
when somebody hits you, don't just stand there and like let your head take the blow. Kind of like take the hit and let your body move with the hit. Once you take the hit, not move.
Hmm.
Obviously, don't move with it, right? Because
No.
some
Yeah.
people just can't time it right. They get called for flinching, but it's like when you get hit, let your whole body absorb it. Don't let your head absorb it. Let your whole body absorb the hit. So there's little things here and there.
Now, fear in this sport. Like, how do you handle it?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know. It's like I mean, me personally, I don't have fear. I don't have
Yeah.
fear because I've grew up that way. I will fight anybody,
Yeah.
wherever, whoever. I don't give a fuck. I've had guns pulled out on me, and I beat the shit out of the person. Like I mean, I mean, you were a Marine, bro. Like
Yeah. It's all
you,
it's all your mental.
you don't even think about it. Honestly, it's
No.
like I tell people this all the time, and I say this in every one of my interviews. When you go up there and then you're walking off stage. When you're walking off stage, you're saying hi to everybody. Even
Hmm.
when you're walking out, you're saying hi to everybody. You get off stage, and you're like, what the fuck? How did I just get here?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Hmm.
it's like when you're driving home and you're driving home, you're on the freeway, left work, and then all of a sudden you're in your driveway. You're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, how did I just get to my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that you just blank out. It's weird. At least that's what it's like for me. I'm
Yeah.
so locked in. I don't see anything else. It's a tunnel vision.
Yeah. And I know it gets like thrown around a lot. It's like, oh, it's all a mental game. It's all in your head. And but it's like people say that a lot, but that's really what it is. Like going
It
to
really is.
war, or going to a fight. Like you train your body, but you're training your mind as well as you're training your body. So when you get to that stage, like you should already be prepared for it. So like anything
Yeah,
that happens or anything that's coming towards you, it doesn't really affect you because your mindset's already there, and it's just like it's hard to explain unless you've actually done the training and you've been in that situation.
yeah. That's the
Yeah,
biggest thing. Like I told you, like when I lost that match against Brandon back, in March, I lost because I wasn't locked in.
yeah,
I missed, and I was in my head and I was thinking like fuck, what, like why the fuck this and that shows a perfect example of like when you're not locked in, you're just fucking all over the place. You're like you make yourself lose.
yeah.
And like just
And
like
you,
you said, you
yeah,
just gotta have that in you.
yeah. You forget to do the little things that you're talking about, like absorbing the whole thing, like all those little things that you practice. When your
Hitting
mind's
up too
not in it,
fast. Yep.
yeah, they're gone, and then that's not, and then what happens? You lose. So
Yep.
that champion mindset, how does it shape life like outside the ring?
Oh, I love it, bro. It's honestly is like I try to tell people. I even texted Babyface when he lost the other day, bro. I I I'm glad Cole won. He deserved it, and I mean it's awesome that he won. And I told Babyface though, because somebody told me, somebody close to me actually, and somebody close to Hunter and Dana. I went to breakfast the next day, and after I lost, and I was sitting there having breakfast with Alex Pereira, and his coach Polino came up to me. He's like,
Yeah,
"Hey, bro." He's like, "Hey, that's good. It's all good, bro. You lost. Now it's time to come back. You learn from your mistakes and come back and fucking get that belt." And of course, that night, Alex lost his fucking belt. So
yeah,
we lost our belts the same fucking
yeah,
weekend. And then, crazy enough, we fought the same weekend and got our
yeah.
belts
You know,
back the same weekend. But
that's tough.
the owner of Bagel Mania, his name's Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal. I shouldn't say Steven Seagal. Steven
Yeah,
Seagal. Um, but he owns Seagull Bagel Mania, and he came up to me and it hit home, and I kind of like it's always stayed in my mind. And he was like, "Hey, bro, it's not that you can't win them all; it's you're not supposed to." And I was like, "Damn." I
yeah,
was like, "All right." I was like, and then like when I really like sat down and thought about it, I saw why. Because like the
yeah,
fire that lit up in me again, where I was fired up to just knock this motherfucker out. He was all cocky. He wanted this. He kept wanting to say, "Oh, I'll bury you," this and that, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, and then it just lit a fire in me. And after I won my belt, and of course I'm eating there at his spot again, and I see him. He's like, "See," he's like, "That's why, bro." He's like, "You're not supposed to win them," or he's not. He's like, "You're not supposed to win them all," you know.
yeah.
He's like, "But you
That's
can't." It's
crazy.
like you're not supposed to because
Supposed to.
when you come back, he's like, "You're gonna come back a whole nother animal." I'm like, "All right."
And then also teaches you what you lost, and like now that you have it, he's like, you know the feeling of losing the belt. So now like it's gonna be harder for somebody to take it away from you.
Exactly. Now it's like, all right, I don't want that shit to
Yeah,
happen again. Let's go.
for sure.
So, yep.
Then so 10 years from now, like what's the legacy?
I want to create a fucking legend in this sport, and I want to be a legend, and I just want people to remember my name, be like, damn, like I want to be like Isaiah in this sport. I want to, just carry myself like him. I want to do the things he's done, and in 10 years from now, like I said, I just hope to be part of the sport still, whether
No,
it's
I feel that.
commentating, talent, whatever it is.
Yeah, and you know Dana already. He's good at keeping in house, like building
Yeah,
from the in house. Look at the UFC. You know, a bunch of former fighters that are all commentating now on
yeah,
everywhere. So like it's like you're in the right organization where he's gonna look within to keep the sport building.
No,
So that's dope.
absolutely.
Now, if not a slap champion, what weird job would you kill at?
I mean, I'm already doing it now, building Mars rovers, bro.
That's insane.
Building rovers, dog.
Yeah.
We're about to get this NASA contract and just send shit to the moon, dog.
Yeah, that's tight. Um, 6 words to sell your next fight.
Oh, 6 words. I mean, hmm. Obviously exciting is gonna be one word. Exciting, um, thrilling. Um, damn, that's a hard question, man. Exciting, thrilling, and I mean it's gonna be I don't know total all out war, but um, damn, I don't know. I can't think of six.
1 word, then. 1 word.
That's a hard question, dog.
Yeah. What about 1 word?
I would say actually no. There, I'd say exciting. I'd say more than one word. I'd say
Yeah.
exciting, thrilling, and satisfied. Like
Okay.
satisfaction, bro.
Faction.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, and gratification. I'll say that. Just instant gratification.
And so Puerto Rican pretty boy. What does that identify like identity mean?
I mean, I've always grown up. I mean, I don't know if y'all see or catch how I dress, but I've always kept myself kind of nice, clean cut. I've always,
Yeah.
would line up my beard. I always
Yeah.
keep try to
Yeah.
keep my pretty little face. But I mean, when I went and signed up for Power Slap, when I first met them at the producers, I had my nose ring in. I had, my beard all lined up. Everybody thought I looked like Nicky Jam. Uh,
Yeah.
fucking I had all my nice clothes on, of course. I was all dressed
Yeah.
up nice and I had my jewelry, everything, and they're like, "Man, you're a little pretty boy." I'm like, and they were like, "Oh, what's your fight nickname?" I was like, "I don't have one." They're like, "Well, fuck, you're a little pretty boy." I'm like, "All right, well, fuck it, Puerto Rican pretty boy." And they were like, "All right." They're like,
That's
"Let's
right.
do it." I was like, "Fuck it." So yeah, they picked it for me.
Okay, that's that. Yeah, my son, he watches because he's in jiu-jitsu right now, so he watches like fights with me and he watches boxing, and then he started watching a power slap with me, and I'm like, oh, that's a Puerto Rican right there. And my son's only 25% Puerto Rican. Like I'm half. My
Yeah,
my girl's Mexican, so he's more Mexican than he's Puerto Rican,
yeah.
but he doesn't think he's Mexican. Like he only
That's my
think,
daughter, bro.
yeah. So right when I told him like, oh look at that, he's Puerto Rican. He's like, oh yeah, he's my favorite fighter. I'm like, well, yeah, you never even seen him fight yet. He's like, yeah, but he's Puerto Rican, so I'm gonna go for him.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
he's
And
Puerto
you
Rican.
want to know what's
Yeah,
crazy? It's
yeah,
all in our blood, bro. That's the
yeah,
way I grew up watching Tito Trinidad, and it's
yep,
like, it's funny because like I'm friends with the Vargas brothers, and it's like I'm friends with Fernando
yeah.
Vargas and all. And obviously, I never met Trinidad, but it's
I,
like it's funny
but
that I'm friends with these fools now, and I tell them all the time, like, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry,
yeah.
I love y'all, but like he was my boy."
Yeah, especially
It's
like
a
when,
Puerto Rican thing.
it's a Puerto Rican, like when Trinidad fought De La Hoya, it was like a big thing. Like both my side of my families were like came over to my house. So my dad's side and my mom's side were together in the house watching the fight, and it was like
Yep.
everybody was like, "Who you going for?" I was like, "Oh, I'm going for Trinidad." And then my dad would be like all mad. My dad was all like mad because he's Mexican. Like, no, but you're Mexican. I'm like, yeah, but I'm Puerto Rican too. Like, but I'm going
Yep.
for Trinidad. And like I like the Dodgers, but I'm gonna go for Puerto Rican. So you gotta let me be. And my son, I
Yep.
always tell him like, you're both right. Like you're Puerto Rican because of me, so I'm both. So you're Mexican and Puerto Rican. Nah, I'm Puerto Rican.
Say
You're
well,
Mexican.
that's yeah,
You're Mexican. He
yeah,
tells me he tells me you're Mexican. I'm like, well, if I'm
yeah,
Mexican, then you're Mexican. He's like, no, no. I'm Puerto Rican. You're Mexican. Even tells my grandma, like my grandma's Puerto Rican on my one side,
yeah.
and my aunt and all of them. He goes and everybody's Mexican except him. He's Puerto Rican. Like he's
I
the only
love it.
one. Like how are you the only one that's Puerto Rican? He's like, well, I
Uh,
am. I am. I'm like, all right, bro.
that's my daughter, bro. My daughter does the
Yeah.
same shit. It pisses off my wife, but my daughter does the same shit. She's like, you're more Mexican than you are Puerto Rican. She's like, nope, I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
It's what we. That's the thing about Puerto Ricans. We're so strong and we love what we like. Our
Yeah.
culture and our heritage is so strong. It's like that's the thing is like
Yep.
I feel strength because of I'm Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
and that's what's crazy is the other day they posted that like the most champions have come from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Like, damn, I'm like that's crazy. I'm like it's just
Yep.
something
It's
about
just
us, bro.
like
It's
that small little island produces a majority of the championships in boxing and just in combat sports in general, as well
yeah,
as like look at like what's the biggest music out right now. Like it's most of the
Bad
artists are
Bunny.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're all Puerto Rican. Like a lot of them are Puerto Rican. So it's crazy. And everybody always tells me like, "Oh, you're the one that tells your son to do that." I'm like, "Nah, I don't." Like growing up, when I was younger, I was like him. I'm only Puerto Rican,
mm-hmm.
but like now that I'm older, like I appreciate both sides. Like like I come
Yeah,
from two 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 places in the world. Like my ancestors are from two places in the world that are both warriors, and there's a lot of history behind both of my side. But like growing up, I get it. Like I was exactly like him, but I don't teach him that. Like that's all him, and that's
yeah,
all instinct. I'm like I
yep,
get it because that was me when I was little.
yep. No,
It's
I'm the same way, and it's funny
yeah.
because it's my mom would be like, "You're not just Puerto Rican." I'm like, "Yep, I am."
I know. Yeah, same thing. It's crazy. And I found like a little, it's like a little Puerto Rican hat I used to have when I was little. I was going through all my stuff, and I gave it to him. I was like, so, and then after that, he hasn't took it off. He everywhere we go, he wears it. He wore it. Like, we went to go see for the Dodgers the celebration. He wore it there. He wore it like
That's dope.
he's just been rocking it everywhere. I'm like, oh man, created a
That's
monster.
that's sick.
Now, we're gonna do like a little a rapid fire before we
Yeah,
head out. So
let's do it.
just I'm gonna say some things when just first thing that comes to mind.
Uh-huh.
Most underrated fighter, and this is for slap.
For slap.
Yeah,
Okay. Most underrated fighter, I'd say. Shit. Fuck. You said rapid fire. Fuck, that's a good one. I'd say Manny, Emmanuel, Muniz. I think some people don't have a lot of faith in him, but kid has a fucking chin. I haven't seen him get knocked out yet, and he's gone against middleweights and he's gone against welterweights. So I'd say Manny. I don't think he gets
favorite
enough
cheat
credit.
meal. Favorite cheat meal.
Ooh, carne asada fries, but In and Out. You get In and Out fries, and you go to the taco truck across the street with some
Oh,
asada.
that's crazy. I might have to
Yeah,
try that.
yeah.
Walkout music.
Oh, anything that gets fucking me pumped. I mean, I mean, one of my walkout songs was gonna be Notorious B.I.G. and Bone Thugs. I was gonna do. I mean, I do my Puerto Rican songs, of course. I did, Bad Bunny, and then of course the song that was made for me, Knockout by Posy. So he made me a number two, also another knockout song. So
Oh,
I'm gonna get
sick.
walk that one too. So
Dang,
yeah.
that's what's up. Worst injury.
Um, in Power Slap, I would
Yeah.
say. I mean, one that I've seen or one that happened to me.
Either or.
Oh, Chelsea, Chelsea. That scars me to this day. When Chelsea got her nose broken and I was
Yeah.
coaching her, I ran up on stage and I put my hand on her nose to stop the bleeding. And I had to put pressure on her nose, and her nose wiggled in my hand. Ooh,
Yeah.
ah, that's still to this. I literally Chelsea called me yesterday. I Facetime her and John Dotson yesterday, and
Yeah.
to this day, that will always affect me. That I've never
That's
felt that.
crazy.
I put the pressure on her nose, and I felt it wiggle in my hand, and I was like, ah.
Uh, oh man. Dream opponent.
Jake Paul. I tell everybody every day, Jake Paul, bro. Jake Paul or Governor Newsom. but but Jake
That,
Paul for sure.
yeah.
Jake Paul, and I would let him go. I would do, let him hit me twice for my one, and I will do. Give me 6 months, and I'll do a boxing match with you. Give me 6 months to train, and I'll do a boxing match.
He's supposed to be fighting Anthony Joshua now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So, man, Isaiah, I appreciate you, man. Anything else you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
Oh, just keep an eye out on the middleweight division. It's not going to be boring. We're still got some matches coming up. Like I said, I don't care who it is, what it is. If I have to go up to fight light heavyweights to keep this division going, I'll do that. Or, unranked people, I'll do that too. I'm not gonna be a boring champ.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. This was fire. Now, everybody, thanks to everybody for tapping in. Thanks for riding with me. Until next time, keep your hands up, keep your takes hot, and remember, only one king leaves the ring.
You're just a casual.